Hello, everybody. Today's another edition of Near Workshops, and today we have Sunny Yu from Welldone Studio slash DSRV Labs teaching us how to decentralize a game with Boss on Near. So yeah, without further ado, if you don't mind taking it away, Sunny.
Yeah, hello. My name is Sunny, and I'm working as a software engineer in DSRV's Welldone Studio team. So I'm currently developing a multi-chain wallet now. So today I will present about decentralize your game with both on Near. So as we've been uploading game example to the blockchain, we've found that there are some challenges for developers to upload their games on the blockchain. And we have developed some solution to address that. So we are going to talk about our solution in today's presentation. Our team has been thinking about what makes it hard to onboard games to the blockchain. The most popular game engines are Unity and Unreal. Here are the statistics of games released on Steam in 2021. Unity and Unreal have a very high percentage. And Unity supports C# as programming language, and Unreal supports C++.
Hello.
Likewise, most game engines support C# or C++. With the overwhelming use of Unity and Unreal, you can see that game developers are mainly using C# and C++ to develop their games. On the other hand, the most popular languages around the world are JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, and Python. And the same is similar for blockchain. That's why most blockchain platforms only offer SDK for JavaScript, TypeScript, or Rust. However, as mentioned before, in video game development, languages like C, C++, and C# are mainly used to develop games for several reasons, such as to optimize performance. They account for more than 70% of the total. I want to say the game development environment is very different from that of blockchain. So it is very different. Therefore, we think this difference makes it hard to onboard games to the blockchain. Moreover, there is a lot of middleware that supports game development, middlewares for AI, sound, animation, and etc. Then, what we need to onboard traditional game developers to the Web3? We need a blockchain middleware for games. Of course, it is also possible for each blockchain foundation to provide SDK for each game language, such as C, C#, like this, but our team wants to provide middleware software that can be used more universally. To onboard game developers, we have to support them in two ways. First, removing the language barrier. We have to help them to use their favorite engines by offering a language agnostic middleware. Second, lowering the multi-chain cost. We have to allow them to interact with multi-chain smart contract with minimal effort by offering a middleware that abstracts the blockchain layer. For example, traditional game developers want to release their game to multiple platforms, such as PC, mobile, Steam, Xbox, and other platforms. But on the blockchain, why can't we release a game to Near, to Ethereum, and to Sui at the same time? It's a barrier for game developers. To address this, our solution is a transaction serializer that is a language and chain agnostic. Introduce Universal Serializer API. As shown in the picture below, this is an API that allows user to input transaction information they want to create. Firstly, user input the transaction information such as chain, from, to in JSON format, and then it returns a serialized transaction to the user. It is a language agnostic and provides serialization for multi-chain. Let's take a look at how our solution can actually fit into the BOS ecosystem. This is the BOS stack provided by the NEAR Foundation. It has a blockchain layer and a component layer named with data and discovery, and a gateway layer, and lastly, the wallets on the onboarding layer. And this is Welldone stack for the game we are building on BOS. First, we provide our universal serializer as a component on the top of various blockchains. This is an abstraction layer that allows game developers to use multiple blockchain in their games without a deep understanding of blockchain. So on top of it, there is game gateways. You can put your game on the BOS. With the language agnostic serializer, you can create your game using any engine you want to use, such as Unity and Unreal. So if you want to interact with the blockchain inside your game, you can use our universal serializer. So even if you are using a language not supported by the blockchain SDK, it doesn't matter. You can use our serializer. And then our API returns a serialized transaction, and we send it to the wallet to sign a transaction. And then you can access the multi-chain smart contract. Once the transaction is successfully sent, you can access the multi-chain smart contracts. In summary, we want to help game developers can focus more on game development without a deep understanding of blockchain. And that's why we provide these two things: a universal serializer and multi-chain wallet. It is multi-chain friendly and has the same direction as the BOS. Thanks to the chain agnostic BOS system, we were inspired by BOS and can design this multi-chain friendly structure. So we've uploaded our universal serializer service as a component on NEAR BOS. So let's see the demo. As it is uploaded on chain, so anyone can view it and bring it to their gateway, and you can search for the components on near.org. Here it is, and open it. This is our universal serializer. So this is uploaded on NEAR blockchain. And we provided provides sample JSON format below. You can choose a chain to check an example like this. Click the near one and fill out some information. Input the address and public key. If the both components support multi-chain wallet provider, we don't need to fill in this information manually. Instead, it will automatically fill in the user's information. So we are preparing some next steps and need near support for better UX. So coming back to the example, this is an example of creating transaction that send the function call to the smart contract at address of this. So press the run button and it returns a serialized transaction. You can do the same process with Ethereum and Sui. So click the Ethereum and input the information. It provides a multi-chain serialization for requested chain. And I will show you another version of demo. This is our Welldone gateway. On the both, we can import and reuse components in the gateway. So we imported our Serializer API component in our gateway. So it works exactly the same as we saw before. Yes, so this is our Welldone gateway. We uploaded a game example on our gateway. So let's see the demo of the game. This is a Unity game. So by using a language agnostic serializer, games built on Unity and Unreal are now available on both. It's a simple game example of increasing a number in the smart contract through this increase button. Before we do that, let's check the current number of the contract. This is our Welldone code that can execute some smart contract function. So this is target address and select getNum function and call the view function. The current number is 18 now. So connect to the wallet through this button and click the increase button. And what happens internally is that after you press the increase button, we send a request to our universal serializer and get the serialized transaction from our API. So we send this value to the wallet. So after that, the wallets pop up like this. Sign a transaction using wallet. The transaction is successfully sent. And now check again the current number. The number is changed to the 19. And we also release sweet game example on the both game gateway. Go to the shop and click the buy button. You can sign a transaction. And this transaction is successfully sent. And after this, the new item is created to the account. Yeah. So in the both gateway, users can connect multi-chain wallet and able to access multi-chain's DF from just one gateway. It's easier for developers and also provided a better experience for users. So we hope that many developers will be inspired by our service and actively build games on both. So it is a chance to put the game ecosystem on into the both because now we support easy game onboarding without language barriers and chain barriers. Developers are able to use any engines and languages they want to use. So it reduces their development time and they can focus more on development. So because it is a multi-chain friendly, they don't have to spend as much time understanding the multi-chain ecosystem. Yeah, and of course, for users, it is better experience. For a user, it's a better experience. So they can get consistent blockchain services from one gateway. So our goal is to inspire and support many developers and users in their multi-chain journey on both. So we try to complete the puzzle in the direction where the both is going. So we see this as a huge opportunity to onboard developers and users. Therefore, after today's presentation, we'll be suggest on NEP proposals for universal use of our Serializer API. And we will start discussion on how to support multi-chain wallet provider in the both components. So stay tuned, and with that, I'd like to wrap up my presentation now, until now. And thank you for listening.
Awesome. Very insightful. So I have a few questions about like this. And so the actual part on your if you don't mind sharing your gateway link, like I don't know if you guys have that open source yet.
Yeah.
Is the part where like the Unity embed happens, like where the Sui game is embedded on Unity and the boss increment counter is embedded on Unity, is that a boss component or is that strictly on your gateway?
The game is on the gateways, not a component, and the API is on the component.
Okay, and so how do you embed the serializer into Unity? Like what is like that actual part where the Unity game was connected to the chain agnostic serializer that was kind of overlooked. So how does how does that work? How do I embed that into the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, we will support our universal serializer as a component, but at the same time, we support this universal serializer as a API through the URL. So in the Unity game, you can request same thing through our URI. So you can just input the JSON format in your Unity code, and then you can get a serialized transaction from that.
Okay, awesome. And then you mentioned like lowering transaction fees or anything like that. Is there any type of account abstraction, or like can you kind of explain what you meant by that?
Account abstraction.
I think you were mentioning like in the first slides that there would be like kind of lower transaction fees or anything, or lowering the multi-chain cost with like a middleware that abstracts the blockchain layer. What does this mean like in terms of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
application?
The transaction fee is also important part, but I mean this slide. The multi-chain cost means the developers develop something for near to Ethereum like this, the cost of developer doing their developments. So we can lowering the multi-chain cost for the developer because our service provide an easy way to serialize transaction in Near and in Ethereum like this.
Okay, awesome. Does anyone else have any questions or
Hey,
Hi, I'm Shannon from Thailand, Bangkok. I would like to ask if this video gonna that you recorded and you're gonna publish to Twitter, right? Or which channel can I get a download video?
yeah,
Uh,
this video will be made available at the same link that was signed up on YouTube. So yeah, that will be there with all the links that I put as well. So don't worry about that.
Thank you.
a question from Hong. We're based in Seoul, South Korea. We're a game development studio looking into multi-chain solutions. So we had a brief call with the DSRV team before, but based on this presentation, I think is this API going to be just because open source was mentioned in the presentation, will it be open source, or if it's a paid API, does it have a release date or a rollout date? I think the final question would be, are there plans to add in more mainnet options?
Yes, we will provide our API, and we also support the mainnet and testnet like this, but we are now support this open source, but and we are doing sorry, we are provide open source, but we will suggest our universal serializer API as a NEP proposal. So we could make it the universal and standardized solution as the near boss. That's we aim at provide our service as a NEP proposal.
Thank you. Sorry if I didn't understand or don't know that terminology. So what does the NFE proposal would mean for this universal serializer? Does it mean that the user has their own liberty to choose how much they want to pay while using this API?
Yeah. The pay system is not discussed in our team, and but we will. The payment system is not discussing it in our team, and the NEP is the near enhancement proposal. So we want to plan to be provide as an open source through NEP, and we will propose standards to use the universal serializer API in the wallet. So not only our Welldone Wallet, we want to make it other wallet to provide the serializer service like this. So the payment is not, we will not pay for the API service, but
Okay.
we aim to standardize this service on near.
Okay. So right now we saw the demo on Ethereum, Near, and Sui. So is the API for those mainnets already usable, or is it still in-house?
From now, it is currently it is on in-house.
Okay, so does it have a release date?
Released it? What? Sorry. Release it. The date you mentioned the date.
Yes. When can we use this API?
The API is not. The due date is not determined, but
Okay.
after.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for asking some questions.
Is the gateway open source, so we can see how you guys embedded that, like the Welldone gateway? Is there like a repo we can refer to, or a repo we can check out?
You want to check our repository or what?
Yeah, I want to check the gateway repo just to see how like everything was implemented. I shared the link to the gateway, I shared the component, and I shared the Remix IDE plugin, but I don't have the Welldone gateway like source code of I'm not sure if that's made available or not, so I'm asking.
Yeah. The Welldone Gateway source code is not open source. Just the component is open source because it is on chains. So gateway repository is not opened. And instead of that, we will provide our Welldone docs to the user, so you can access the further information of our gateway will be added, so you can check it.
Awesome. And just going off the question earlier, like, are you guys expecting to add more chains other than Near, Ethereum and Sui? Is there going to be like a Solana, Aptos, anything like that? I know you guys are like validators on a lot of chains. So, and also the wallet supports a lot of other chains as well. So what's the roadmap or the intention to add additional chains to this API?
Yeah, my answer is the chains that we support in our wallet can available to service. So the chains like this list are the we can provide.
Awesome. Awesome. So you guys support Clayton, Aptos, Juno, all the Cosmos chains, Celestia, Celo, EVM chains. That's awesome. Yeah, and you mentioned a near enhancement proposal. When can we see that published? When you guys expecting to like put your implementation on the NEP board for the public to review?
Maybe we suggest the NEP about October this year, early in the October. So we hope that in the before NearCon, we can propose the NEP.
Awesome. Any more questions or? All right, yeah, that's very exciting seeing you implement new changes to your gateway, a new component, a new serializer. Looking forward to the API, looking forward to the NEP and kind of announcements by NearCon for the gateway. And yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you.